Hello all, welcome to the videos of BioAid Solutions. So here I welcome one more batch of students from Garden City University who worked on healthy and galled mango leaf.
Greetings to all. My name is Sharanya Bhattacharya and I am currently pursuing BSc Biotechnology Honours from Garden City University, Bangalore. And recently I have done an internship with my fellow teammates in BioAid Solutions. BioAid Solution is basically a biotechnology company which is established in January 2020 and it's currently based in Bangalore. And it deals with the customized biosolution products. It provides various services as well. And in this BioAid solution, we have completed a 3 month of internship. We have done a project which was entitled Comparison and Molecular Identification between Healthy and Gall Leaves of Mangifera indica. We divided this project into 3 parts, like initially starting with the literature survey, then followed by conduction of experiments in the lab, and then concluding it with the data analysis, with the results which we got after the experiment. So starting off with the literature survey. In literature survey, we had to do a few studies before starting off with the experiment part. Like we had to study about the Mangifera indica and various researches done on it, and then we had gone through the gall formation. Then about the molecular identification researches that was done on Mangifera indica before, and then about the DNA barcoding. So starting off with Mangifera indica, we all know it is commonly known as mango and it has various immunological effects. It has various medicinal properties as well, like it has antisyphilic properties, and then the juice can be used as a restorative tonic as well, and there are other properties. Apart from this, we all know that Mangifera indica consists of 30 different varieties. There were various researches done on Mangifera indica based on its morphology, then physiochemical and other functional studies. Then coming to the molecular study, which we had to go through before starting off with this experiment, is isolation of the DNA band of old leaves using the CTAP buffer, and then sequence of the dominant DGGE band, and then SCOT markers were used in the characterization and genetic comparison analysis among the mango cultivators.
Hi, my name is Pooja and I am here to give you all a brief information about galls and their effects on the normal healthy plants. Galls are basically an abnormal structure or growth that can be appear as rounded, uplifted shapes on the leaves of the plants. Galls abnormal growth arises due to hypertrophy, which is an increase in the size of cell, and hyperplasia, which is an increase in the number of cells of plants in response to gall-inducing organisms. Galls can be caused by nematodes, insects, mites, parasites, and very small percentage are caused by bacteria, fungi, and viruses. Usually, galls acts as physiologic sinks as they concentrate most of the resources like nutrients that are essential for the growth of the plant from the surrounding plant parts. Thus, they harm plants and hinder the process of yielding. Galls may also provide insects physical protection from the predators. The most obvious sites of galls occurs where plant cell division usually happens, such as leaves, meristems, stalks, flowers, or fruits, etc. Gall-inducing insects are usually species-specific and sometimes tissue-specific on the plants they gall. So, gall formation affects healthy plants by inhibiting development, differentiation, growth, and tissue suppression, along with activation of some genes that are not required by the plants. Thank you.
Greetings of the day. My name is Pawan Kumar Joshi. So now once we have studied about the galls, we needed to collect the leaves of the mango trees from both the healthy and the galled leaves so that we could study and compare what was the reason behind the formation of these galls. For this purpose, we collected the leaf samples from a nearby area. After the collection of the leaves, we extracted the DNA with the help of CTAB method, DNA of both the healthy and the galled leaves. Now, after this DNA has been extracted, it needs to be run through the gel electrophoresis in order to separate the bands of the DNA. Now once the bands have been separated, we needed to compare it with the ladder DNA so that we could identify our gene of interest. Now once this gene of interest has been isolated, it needs to be amplified with the help of polymerase chain reaction technique, PCR technique, with the help of certain primers. Now coming to the primers, for plants the preferred primers are MATK gene, and for animals it is COI gene, because these genes are preserved in the particular species. After the gel electrophoresis, the amplified DNA had been observed. We needed to analyze it with the help of BLASTA sequence and other tools, so that the DNA could be compared as to what was the difference in the DNA between the healthy leaves and the galled leaves.
Hello everyone, my name is Biboswan and I'm making this video in order to share my learning outcomes and the experience of doing an internship in BioEdge Solutions, which is in Bangalore, Karnataka. So basically I was working under Dr. Shruti SD, who also happens to be the owner of the organization, and the project with which I was associated was molecular differences of healthy and galled leaves of Mangifera indica, that is mango, and particularly my topic was DNA barcoding, so I'm going to be talking about it. So DNA barcoding is a process where a particular sequence, a short sequence of DNA is amplified through PCR, and then the sequence is analyzed and compared with other sequences that are present in the software data libraries of bioinformatics like BLAST and FASTA and all, to understand their phylogenetic relationships and to understand the differences between the two organisms. So basically before starting working on the DNA barcoding, my guide, she guided us in such a way that before achieving any goal, it's very essential, like she made us understand that it's very essential for us to have a crystal clear picture in our mind that what we have to achieve. For that case, we worked everything in a good sequence, step by step, by creating a framework and a blueprint, and then we achieved our goal. So I also want to share about my learning experience. The workspace was super eco-friendly, and it was very positive workspace, and I did my internship. It was an offline internship, and the tenure of the internship was 3 days, and I did my internship during the pandemic situation, as I stated earlier. So during the internship, each and every health related problems, each and every precautions were taken in order to avoid the COVID situations and all. And I really want to thank Dr. Shruti SD for guiding us in such a positive manner. Anytime we had any doubts, we used to ask her, we used to text her. She every time she used to help us without any hesitation. And one more thing, that Dr. Shruti SD is very kind, she is very knowledgeable, and we all grasped so many things from her. And she first elaborated the methodologies like PCR. We came across so many different sophisticated materials like microcentrifuge, PCR machine, and all gel electrophoresis mechanism machines and all. And we also polished our skills with those sophisticated instruments. And after after explaining the techniques, she always used to tell us to work with the all the sophisticated materials and the machineries, so that we could gain as much as knowledge from those experiments in a short span of time. So thank you.